Hey, he, who. All right. So before I begin, I was gonna do this franchise next month as part of my birth month, but another franchise which has actually spanned my entire life from childhood to adulthood caught my eye. So we're going to try to knock this out before the end of the week. So I'm going to be in full charge mode with this franchise. And that franchise is the Spy Kids franchise. Well, not just that. Spy Kids and Shark Boy and Lava Girl. Which also includes We Can Be Heroes. Which, can't wait to talk about that one. So, Spy Kids came out 2001 and was a big part of my, I was in middle school, it was more so my brother's thing, mostly, but I had the VHS. It was my VHS. It was in my room. Oh, no case. But, yeah, so the story is that, as it's being told to us at the beginning of the film, by Carla Gugino, who is Gugino, she is just, man, she's so attractive. She's a very pretty woman. Even now, in her older ages. She's old enough to be my mom. And yet, I can't help it. But, you want to talk about freaking changes. Alexa Vega, or Pina Vega as she called now. You see what she looks like now? She's gorgeous. I think we're about the same age anyway, but... So the story is that there were two spies who fell in love and retired. And that is their parents. And so now secret agents have been OSS, Operation Super Spy. I don't know. But OSS agents have been gone missing, including one named Donegan, who will become more important in the second film we'll discuss. That little plot hole problem, not plot hole, but that problem in the second one. But, so, Mr. and Mrs. Cortez, go, and they are sent on a mission. But, it turns out that Junie's child show that he watched, his kids show that he watched, it's that guy, Fagin Floop, played brilliantly by Alan Cumming, and his sidekick Minion, and that is his real name. He's not just a minion, it's Alexander Minion. That's his name. They're behind this, although we find out that Floop isn't really into it. And Minion is really the one behind it. It turns out this was all part of a project called the Third Brain. The Third Brain was something the OSS was creating years ago, and the project got shut down. Well, because Gregorio, that's Antonio Banderas, the dad, he didn't destroy it, he hid it. Now, they have to the bad guys want it. And that's basically the plot. You have some things here and there. Robert Rodriguez, as much as he does these very adult movies, like From Dusk Till Dawn, and Machete, and I believe he did the Death Proof and stuff like that. So, yeah, he's good with kids movies too. But there is something to say about this film for me. I don't like Junie in this film. Junie's story, I don't really remember the whole thing, but his story throughout the film isn't a very good one. He's kind of a whiny bitch. Like, there's a scene, and I still don't understand why this has to happen this way. They're do this jungle gym, and they say they do this every day to get to the kitchen, and yet Junie's just hanging there, and Carmen's telling him, "Go, go!" I can't. I'm losing grip. Move. If you move your hand to another one, your grip will be better on the other bar. If you just fucking stay there, you're gonna lose grip. But nope. She kicks him and he flips and falls down. How he's not dead, I'll never know. I mean, he lands in a net. But I've always hated that scene because he can move. And some people have pointed this out in other videos that he has warts, so that's probably a problem. The warts are on the top, not the bottom. They're up here. There's no problem with him holding it in the warts because they're on the top of his fingers, not on the bottom. You don't get warts here, so I don't think you do. Only I've gotten them on the top of my fingers. I have. There's a couple there. One there. But they're on the top of my hands, not on the bottom. You get calluses on the bottom of your fingers and stuff. But never on the top. And never on the bottom do you get the... So there's no reason why he couldn't freaking move. If he's losing his grip, it would be better for him to just move more. But he didn't. Especially, and what really bugs me about this, they just got done saying they do this every day. So why shouldn't he be able to do it? Does she kick him off it every day? Because that's painful. If that's the case. That scene never set right with me. And it just... I don't like Junie. In this film, at least. He gets better as the film goes along. And the fact that it's basically his story, to me... Yeah. It's just like, so he's the one that convinces Fook to help him free his parents. And he's the one who helps his dad get unturned from a Foogly. By the way, these Fooglies, these little creatures that are on his show, those are the missing agents. One of them is Donegan, which, again, we'll get to in the sequel. But yes. And Minion is the mastermind. And then Gregorio turns him into a freak too, with the 3 different heads coming off of his head. And he says, I'm pretty sure I can reverse it. But we see him in subsequent films with it still on there. So why did they never, reverse that? Who knows? But yeah, I like the action. And I like that there's like zooming camera stuff. That's pretty cool. And there's I like some of the spy gear. Oh, when they meet Machete, what does it say about a film, about a character? That when you see him in a film, you shout out his name. As soon as I saw him, I yelled out, Machete! I love Machete. I have not seen the 2 Machete films, which is, I love Machete so much, but I haven't seen the 2 films, so... And it's supposedly the same character, but not really. I don't know. But anyway, yes. So, Machete comes in and he's Gregorio's brother. And I think that, I always thought that's kind of funny because they have this guy named Felix who's not really their uncle, but they call him Uncle Felix even after this movie. In the second one, that's one of the brains goes, I'm not your uncle. What I laughed at this time was the scene when the house is under attack. He's like, first things first, I'm not your uncle. And he wishes him away. And in the very next scene, he's putting the mustache back on. Why? I just laughed. I'm like, why do you want to put the mustache back on? And then there's another mustache gag at the end with Gregorio. He's like, when he goes to do that to Minion, he's just like, I'm just like, what is it with mustaches in this movie? You have a lot of celebrities in this. Terry Hatcher, who gets most of her hair burned off. You have Robert Patrick playing a stereotypical bad guy. Tony Shalhoub is Minion. Carlo Gugino as, Antonio Banderas as Gregorio. Mike Judge, yes. Thing about propane is that Mike Judge plays Donegan. Yes, most of it is just pictures, but he's Donegan, and he gets more throughout the franchise. He gets, and yeah, just. So, what is this plan that Minion and Floop have? Well, they're creating robot children. Not just any robot children, famous robot children, like the president's daughter or the prime minister's son, stuff like that. And they're using them to infiltrate. They even have versions of Junie and Carmen. And that's why they need the brain, because that could give them, is all they can do without the brain is, but then this actually makes them talk. And they're going to sell them off to people to infiltrate, I guess. I don't know. It's a kid's movie. Okay? I don't know what kind of... But yeah, and in the end, Floop has turned the kids good, basically. And we've seen later that they're used as part of his show, which somehow was still on the air, even though... Okay, there's this gag at the end that... Oh, speaking of celebrities, George Clooney, hot off the success of Batman and Robin, shows up in this film as the president, and there's the, sometimes they put the bar, like a bar in front of someone, you don't know who they are. He takes the bar off and talks to them, and then he puts it back on at the end. I'm just like, what? And he's supposedly the president, but then by the second film, it's Christopher McDonald, but then by the third film, it's George Clooney again. Is he the president, or is he just the head of OSS? I don't know if I got that. I'll have to look it up. But I found that weird, because I thought he was the president, but then Christopher McDonald's the president in the second one, but then George Clooney's back in the third one because for imprisoning me, for ruining it, that whole thing. I don't know. It's. I have to look it up. But Spy Kids, well, it's fun. It's for the kids. If you wanna show it to your kids, it's a fun watch. I don't think any of these movies are bad per se. Maybe the third one gets a little bit. Some of the storylines in the films, like 2 and 3, I never really cared. Like 2, I didn't see 2 right away. I saw this one. I had the VHS watch it over and over again. And then 3 came out, and that was all 3D, so we watched that one. But then I had, no idea what happened in between. And when I finally watched that, I didn't really care for where the story had gone with that. Yeah, and the fourth one's kind of its own thing, which we'll get to. But Spy Kids, on its own, gets a 9 out of 10. It's enjoyable. It's fun. It's a childhood favorite of mine, even though I was like 13. But, yes. So what are your thoughts on Spy Kids? Let me know in the comments below. Make sure to like, share, and subscribe. Thank you for watching. I've been Scotty. See you in the next one.